Swadee krap and welcome to Thailand Top Stories. Today we're coming to you with a garden view back in Phuket, and glad to report we've got bright blue skies here. We're talking about the weather during the report. Also, well, we're going to be talking about that first case of Omicron as well. And we've also got some story about another attempt to try and get Myanmar back into line. All that coming up on today's program, but please subscribe to the channel. That would be much appreciated. But for now, let's get started with today's main news stories. Don't panic. They're the words coming out of just about every crevice in Thailand this morning after the discovery of Thailand's first Omicron infection yesterday. Business leaders are warning that another lockdown would be a disaster for an already soft economy. The chairman of the Thai Chamber of Commerce noted yesterday that bringing back lockdowns would hurt Thailand's image internationally, adding that Thais are experienced in protecting themselves against the coronavirus. But he went on to advise the remaining 10 million or so Thais who haven't been vaccinated to get their shots quickly. Yesterday it was revealed that a US businessman of Thai descent tested positive for the new variant after arriving from Spain. The man flew through Dubai, where he transited for 9 hours before arriving in Thailand on November the 30th. His age has been reported as both 35 and 36, don't think it really matters. He had a PCR test when he landed at the airport, tested positive, and has since been isolated in a hospital in Bangkok. He'd been previously inoculated with the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. At this stage, most Omicron cases found in other countries do not require hospitalisation, and there's been no reports of deaths from the new variant at this time. Well, these general sentiments were shared by the Thai PM Prayut Chan-o-cha yesterday, saying he was confident that health authorities will be able to control its spread. He's urging people to be aware but not panic. No comments have yet been uttered by the government about any additional curbs or restrictions following the discovery of the first Omicron case. All the latest on this story at toThaiger.com. 6 Belgian tourists were rescued after getting stranded on an island in Sattahip. The Pattaya News reports that the Royal Thai Navy were alerted that 6 Belgian tourists had headed out with 3 small boats and run into trouble. One of the boats had engine trouble and another sprung a leak. Not going well so far. The remaining boat headed to Koh Kram, where they radioed for help. The 6 were plucked off the island yesterday morning during some poor weather in the area. We're glad to report no injuries. Whilst we're on the weather, the emerging northeast monsoon across the Gulf and southern Thailand will lead to some variable weather, including isolated thunderstorms in the south. Waves in some areas could get up to 2 metres in height. In the north, cool to cold weather with fog in the mornings, with temperatures as low as 12 to 15 degrees but up to 31 during the days. Temperatures on the top of mountains could get as low as 4 degrees. Blah. Elsewhere in the country, mostly settled weather with cooler mornings but hot days. In one sentence, typical December weather has arrived. I can tell you that we have a beautiful day in Phuket today, and it's going to get well over 30, I think. Certainly starting to get quite humid already. The BBC is looking to Thailand for its next entertainment hit as the Asian wave continues on primetime British television. This follows the success of The Masked Singer and Squid Game, plus the general Korean wave of entertainment around the world right now. BBC One is looking at a Tetris-style physical game show called Blockout for its schedule next year as a successor to Total Wipeout and Hole in the Wall. The channel is expected to pilot its own version of Blockout. The original was created for Japanese TV, with a local version broadcast on Thailand's Channel 7, one of the biggest networks here. Blockout features 2 teams competing to win a cash prize by answering trivia questions and keeping their balance on a ledge whilst a shape-shifting wall attempts to push them into a pit. Fun for the whole family. The Prime Minister of Cambodia has announced plans to visit Myanmar to help smooth divisions in ASEAN over the Myanmar matter. PM Hun Sen says he'll talk with military rulers, recently commenting that Myanmar was a family member of ASEAN and that it was time to strengthen the 10-member organisation. Hun Sen is the latest leader who's trying to find a way forward for the military-controlled state who seized power in a coup on February the 1st this year. Last month, Thailand's Foreign Minister Don Pramudwinai also visited Myanmar. Myanmar is blocked from ASEAN talks and regional trade talks for the time being and sanctioned by the UN, who have decried the violence since the coup. Well, that's all the main news stories from around Thailand this morning. We would appreciate it if you haven't already to subscribe to the channel, and we welcome your comments, good and bad. And we react to some of those on Thaiger Bites each day. Natty and Jay are coming up on Good Morning Thailand. Plenty of other programming. Jet's back today with Thailand News Today. That comes out at 6 p.m. every day. So there, I've covered the whole schedule. But from here in Phuket, all I can say is you're up to date on the Thaiger.